Well, I got connected with Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease. It was about 20 years ago when I was in college. I entered an ad for a personal care attendant, and I met an amazing woman, Mary Beth Calderon, who didn't know what she had. She was in a wheelchair since high school, couldn't move her fingers or hands at all, and she was told she had some kind of neuropathy. It was about 2004 when she found out that she had Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease because her daughter began to have a wobbly walk at age 2. It was the first sign that it might be an inherited neuropathy. And that made the doctors really look into Charcot-Marie-Tooth before they had ruled it out, because nobody in Mary Beth's family had ever had it. It changes things when you now know what you have. I mean, she was in a wheelchair, couldn't move, but when you don't know what you have, you're not activated. And she found out she had Charcot-Marie-Tooth. She got very mobilized. I visit Mary Beth every year, spend a week with her. We were watching our kids play together, including her daughter. As we watched them play together, it was one of those things where you lock eyes and your brains start to whir. And so we looked at each other and said, we should write a book. There should be a book, for kids this age that has a character with Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease that's funny and entertaining, and all of a sudden now everybody knows what it is, because it's a very weird sounding disease. Nobody knows about it, and yet a lot of people have it. The way the story goes is, in 3rd grade, she didn't have leg braces on. CMT is a progressive disease, so it gets worse and worse. By 4th grade, she needed leg braces to really function well, and so she returns to school with leg braces on. She becomes disabled. Kids now see her as disabled, and the book in a lot of ways is about how do you then incorporate that into your own self-image and still come out feeling powerful and good about yourself. There was one night we were on the computer Googling Charcot-Marie-Tooth, and up popped a foundation called the Hereditary Neuropathy Foundation, which we had never heard of, and we investigated it and said, these people work to improve the lives of people with CMT. So literally, we called them and got on the phone with Allison Moore. She loved the idea of this children's book. And so when we partnered with HNF, it became now a possibility, because we had some backing and some support. We had people who could contribute to the publication, the financing of the publication of the book, and we had a way to get it out there. We developed a presentation for the target audience, 4th graders, 5th graders. We went to schools, talked about the book in the larger context. This idea of how do you see yourself if you're disabled, and if you're not, how do you see other people who are disabled? And it's such a broad theme. It's needed in the schools these days, and it works into also how do you see differences in general. Do you look at somebody and tease them about their differences? Do you have an open mind about it? You can work all those themes through this book, and it played really well to that kind of audience. The Hereditary Neuropathy Foundation, fortunately, has created the National CMT Resource Center. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention had a grant program to create a place to really raise awareness about CMT. So whereas before we would go to schools and donate a few copies to the library, this year they'll arrive at a school with boxes of books, along with the teacher's guide on how to use Arlene on the Scene to discuss disability awareness, diversity issues, and just read a fun book, because the grant from the CDC allows us to really do tremendous outreach with this book.